Vitality is the state of being strong and energetic. The greater your vitality, the greater your life experience will be. In this podcast, I'm going to break down the three main toxins that get in the way of this process. And at the very end, I'm going to share with you a special 7-day vitality food program that will leave you feeling most alive. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure that you press subscribe and to click on the link to get 3 amazing classes, power yoga, yin yoga, and meditation to increase that strength, flexibility, and calm. All right, let's jump into the video. Welcome to episode number 83 of the Be Ultimate Podcast, A Life of Vitality. This is your host, Travis Eliot, and thank you for tuning in. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please drop me a review, throw me some stars, and if you're watching on YouTube, always love to see your comments down below. So for the first time ever here on the Be Ultimate Podcast, this episode, I'm going to do something I've never done before. This is new. And what that is I'm going to share something with you that I've taught and shared with students in the setting of a workshop or on a retreat. So to accompany this particular episode of Be Ultimate, there's a handout that I want to share with you. It's like a 21-page little ebook with diagrams and all the information I'm going to share with you. So make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you'll find that link down below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you'll find that in the show notes. And get that 21-page ebook so you have all this information. And then you'll understand it on a deeper level. More than just hearing it, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to go back. You can leave notes. You can go back and just revisit all that I'm about to share because it's kind of a lot of information. And there's a lot of details and a lot of specifics to what I want to give to you today. So vitality. Vitality is a state of being strong, energetic, and active. And on some level, we all want vitality. We all want fuel to do the things in our life that we love to do, the things that we're passionate about. Whether that's sports or exercise, yoga, athletics, doing stuff with the people that we love, being in a career that we're passionate about, whatever it is, we want fuel. And the more energy that we have, the richer our life experience becomes. The more decreased and diminished the wattage of our vitality becomes, the more depressed we are, the more down we are, the more that we're sludging our way through the moment-to-moment experience of life. So the more vitality we have, it's like we're flying instead of trudging through that mud. Optimal health comes from when you are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in a state of flow and harmony. Optimal health occurs when the organs and the glands of the body are also functioning at their maximum capacity. Now, disease is a condition precipitated by a toxin-filled, nutritionally deficient, and stress-dominated system. I'm going to say that again because that's a lot to chew on. Disease is a condition precipitated by a toxin-filled, nutritionally deficient, and stress-dominated system. So if we want to increase our vitality, which is our birthright. It's our birthright. It's innate that we should be inundated with energy. Then we're going to have to remove the toxins out of the body. These toxins are what obstruct our vitality from growing and being on the level that they should be. We also are going to have to make sure that we're putting proper fuel into our body that also feeds our vitality, that we're not deficient in nutrients. And then we're also going to have to be really good at managing stress. When those three things are in check, we're flying, we're soaring. We are in that state of vitality. So you have the choice. That's the great thing about being a human being, is you have the choice to choose what you're going to put into your body. You have the choice to choose what your lifestyle is going to be. Now, in Western medicine, they define health as being the absence of disease. In Eastern medicine, they define health as being the presence of vitality and energy. So isn't it interesting that in Western medicine, like, their definition of health is not being in a state of disease? That, in my opinion, is setting the bar pretty low. So I want us to think about defining health as being bigger than that, being greater than that, that the process of health should be that we feel like we're in that abundance of energy and vitality. So let's address this idea of detoxification. One of the primary causes of energy loss, of vitality, one of the primary causes of energetic imbalances in the body and therefore disease is the accumulation and presence of toxins in our system. There are three types of toxins. Number one, exogenous. Number two, endogenous. And number three, emotional. Let's unpack those three different types of toxins. We'll start off, number one, with the exogenous toxins. And again, all this information is in that 21-page handout that I want to share. So make sure that you download and you get that information. Exogenous toxins are external toxins that come from an outer environment. Common exogenous toxins can be a whole multitude of things. So it can come from tap water. I just watched this interesting series on Netflix called Down to Earth with Zac Efron and a superfood guru named Darren Olian. And at one point they go to Europe and they're studying water and the effects of water, and they compare that to what's often present in our bottled water. And it's atrocious what's in our tap water. We have high levels of arsenic. There's even been traces of drugs where people are taking medication, they're peeing it out. This is being recycled back into our water. And so they're seeing Vicodin and antidepressants and Viagra even, traces of all this stuff in tap water and also in bottled water. So we have to be careful the types of water that we're bringing into our system. We can also get exogenous toxins from sources like smog, alcohol, sugar and artificial sweeteners, food preservatives, additives, artificial flavorings, which are present in so much of our foods, especially in the United States, where common sense isn't always common practice. That there are a lot of corporations that are making decisions that are not based off of your health and well-being, but are based off of how are they going to increase their profit. It's more about greed than it is about need. Other sources include tobacco, pesticides, petrochemicals, gas, oil, fracking exposures, heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, lead. We also can get toxins from viruses, so like the coronavirus or the flu, bacteria, parasites, prescription medications, and over-the-counter medications. These are all places where we can develop toxins inevitably within our body that can throw our natural rhythms and our natural systems completely out of whack. All right, number two are the endogenous toxins. Endogenous or internal are toxins produced in the body as a result of compromised digestion and inefficient metabolism. So we're bringing things into our body, but our body has lost its ability to break down what we're bringing into the body, and therefore we start to increase and accumulate toxins internally, known as the endogenous category. They can result from pancreatic digestive enzyme deficiency, poor eating habits. So if we're eating when we're in a state of stress, if we eat standing up, if we eat on the go, if we're not chewing our food properly, also bad food combinations, like when you mix dairy and fruit. The body processes different types of foods in different types of ways. So when we mix those up in a way that isn't optimal, again, this is going to increase the toxic load in the body. Now let's talk a little bit about toxin pathology. So the way that it works is toxins are discharged from the body by the liver, the kidneys, the lymph, your colon, your lungs, your blood, and your skin. And as more and more toxins accumulate in your system, they begin to place severe stress on all those organs of elimination. And with continued accumulation, the liver, the kidneys, and the lymph system, they become less efficient in their ability to do their job. And their ability to excrete these waste products, causing the toxins to accumulate in the connective tissues and also in the organs of the body. So basically, what starts off as just a little small thing, initially the body has its mechanisms in place to get rid of these toxins. But when we live a lifestyle where we're making poor choices and we're doing this day in, day out, then the body can no longer handle the stress. The body tries to initially compensate for this by having the endocrine or the hormonal glands secrete hormones to help stimulate detoxification. So again, there's all these backup plans that we're born with, this wisdom that we're born with. But again, over time, these glands also become inefficient and tired and overloaded, just like the organs. So the end result is not so good. Now we have an inefficient elimination system with toxin accumulation, coupled with reduced organ function. Now the organs aren't able to perform the things that they need to do. They're no longer able to produce this ideal environment of health and vitality. So now we begin to trigger the domino effect of disease and illness. And if we don't break that cycle, then that disease and that illness becomes chronic disease, chronic illness. And as toxins accumulate in the body, they compete with the essential vitamins and minerals and trace elements. The toxins, they get in the way of those nutrients from being absorbed into the system. And so again, your body can't do what it's meant to do. And as a result, the body's organs, tissues, and cells on a cellular level are deprived of those vital nutrients that they need, and thus they begin to lose their ability to function optimally. When the cells don't work, the tissues don't work. When the tissues don't work, the organs don't work. When the organs don't work, the systems don't work. And when the systems don't work, your whole entire body and being stops working. Now we'll talk about the third level of toxicity, which are emotional toxins, which often gets left out of the discussion, but is very, very important to be aware of as well. The ancient Greeks, they taught that base negative emotions like cowardice, timidity, guilt, remorse, deceit, and duplicity, they actually weaken the heart and they diminish our vital energy. And that prolonged grief and sorrow that goes on, the unfinished business of the heart that we don't process, the traumas that we don't transform from pain and suffering into awakening, then this leads to literally a broken heart. And we know that there is a link between the thoughts and the emotions and also our health. And disease now is being extensively researched since the 1970s by a whole field called psychoneuroimmunology, otherwise abbreviated as PNI, or this is, you may have heard it as mind-body medicine. And numerous studies within the field have clearly documented the profound interconnection between what we think, what we feel, and what we believe, and our physical health. Our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, the stories that are running through our mind, they have a direct, immediate impact on our overall health and our overall well-being. PhD Dr. Janet Haranke shares that a disturbance in a person's energy field occurs weeks, months, and often years before a disturbance occurs in the cells and the tissues. Adding that changes in a person's consciousness via their thoughts, their emotions, their beliefs can therefore alter the physical status of the cells, the organs, and the tissues. So before it begins to manifest within the physical material body, there is a disturbance on a subatomic level within our body. And in yoga, we have the physical body known as the annamaya kosha, or the sheath of the food body. And underneath that, we have what's known as the pranamaya kosha, or the energetic body. So the disease and the illness and the symptoms are occurring, if you look at it like the roots of a tree, in that energetic, deeper dimension of who we are. And so Dr. Janet Haranke goes on to explain that spontaneous remission, for instance, has to do with the disturbance in physical matter such as tumors disappearing, and often quickly when healthy shifts occur in the strength, the coherency, and flow in the bioenergy field. The bioenergy field is just saying that we are an electromagnetic human being. And so our thoughts and our emotions, they have an impact on our electromagnetic signature. So a lot of times when people are suffering chronic illness and chronic disease, they may get rid of the external toxins, the internal toxins, but the disease is still there. And they haven't gone far enough. They haven't gone deep enough. And so where they need to go to is they need to go into the root. They need to go deep into the emotional underlying factor, which usually has to do with trauma that hasn't been addressed, and things and emotions that have always been repressed. And as soon as we do that deeper internal work of healing in that capacity, then the vitality begins to flow again. It's almost like a beautiful European fountain that's been clogged with leaves, clogged with branches, clogged with trash. Somebody goes in there and they remove that, and then the fountain begins to flow in all of its original glory. And now the birds are attracted to it. Romantically, couples are attracted to the fountain. There's life around it. So we too are meant to be this fountain of vitality and energy. Now you'll see if you download that handout, and again, you can get that in the section down below, you'll see a whole section of where I talk about Ayurvedic medicine, which is the great healing modality that's the sister science to yoga. And I've actually gone into this in great detail on another podcast where I talk about Ayurveda. But to summarize what this section essentially says is, in Ayurvedic medicine, the word for toxicity is called ama, A-M-A. And ama is this undigested food material. So when we eat food, the food goes down into the stomach, the body secretes acids to break down that food and to turn that food into a food soup called chyle. And once this food soup is created, then it's going to go through all the 7 tissues in Ayurveda, which is lymph, blood, muscle, fat, bone, nerve, and reproductive. Now, if that food soup has toxicity in it, then that toxicity or that ama is just being carried through those 7 tissues. And if we don't detoxify, we're not getting rid of the toxins. So it's a cycle that's happening over and over and over again. And the more that this toxicity cycles through these tissues, the more that these tissues get depleted. Remember that those vital cells aren't getting the nutrients that they need. And so things begin to degenerate and therefore break down and therefore stop working and therefore trigger illness and disease. So then it makes sense that if we want to live in an optimal state of health and vitality, then we got to break that negative cycle. We got to stop the loop of toxicity. So you can read more about that in your handout. Now, before I get to this special 7-day food program that I want to share with you guys, I want to talk a little bit about this idea of acidity and alkalinity and the balancing act involved with how do we find that within our body. You see, our bodies are driven by electrical impulses in a complex electromagnetic system. Remember, we are electromagnetic beings. We are composed of electricity and magnetic energy. So interestingly, all the organs in the body, the brain, the heart, and all those organs that I mentioned earlier, the organs of detoxification like the liver and the kidneys, every organ in the body emits a field of electromagnetic energy. It emits electrical impulses. And our system requires this very delicate balance between levels of acidity and alkalinity. And it's a very delicate balance of finding that. And when you go one way in either direction too much, then the body loses homeostasis. So the ideal pH, the ideal balance in the body is 7.36. Now, acid in the system disrupts the balance. It causes red blood cells to begin to stick together and weaken and die. And then this starts to trigger a domino effect where more acid gets released into the bloodstream and it kind of increases pollution in the body. So you're creating more of those endogenous or those internal toxins. Now, most of us tend to be much more acidic than we are alkaline. So for most people, the whole idea is to get more alkalinity into the body because alkalizing foods and liquids, they begin to break the disruptive pattern of acidity in the body. So I want to share with you now, and again, you'll see this in the handout that you can download. It's all laid out for you. A special 7-day alkalizing vitality plan. And by following this for 7 days, you'll help rid the body of toxins. You're going to be putting things into your body that's going to increase your energy and your vitality. And as always, when in doubt, consult your healthcare provider before beginning any type of program like this. So let's talk about the food and the beverages that I want you to include within this plan. Milks. So you can go with sesame, rice, coconut, and almond milk. Always good to go fresh if possible, but store-bought is okay as well, but make sure that you get unsweetened. Fruits. You want to go organic because if it's not organic, then you're going to get the pesticides. The pesticides are going to be that exogenous toxicity. So you want to get apples, berries, blueberries. Wild blueberries are great. Blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, lemon, lime, and watermelon. Now, if you're unfamiliar, lemon and lime, they seem acidic, but when it goes into the stomach, it actually has a really powerful alkalizing effect. Vegetables, again, organic vegetables. Non-starchy vegetables should compromise the bulk of your food intake during these 7 days. So I want you to eat a wide variety of vegetables that you're going to obtain across the color spectrum. Get as many different colors as you can so that you get all those vital nutrients. Juices, wheatgrass. Wheatgrass tastes like ass, but it's so good for you. It's so good for you. And the more toxicity you have in your body, the worse it tastes. As that toxicity starts to go down, you'll actually start to find that it actually begins to have more of a sweet taste. So wheatgrasses, the green juices, green powders are all excellent options. Alkaline proteins, almonds, almond butter, chestnuts, tempeh, fermented soy, tofu. Again, make sure that it's all organic. Alkalizing sweetener, you can do stevia. Organic honey is okay. You can do a very, very small amount. Don't go crazy where you do it tablespoons of honey because you said, Travis said I could have that. I'm talking a teaspoon of honey in a tea may be okay. Alkalizing spices, chili, cinnamon, curry, ginger, miso, mustard, sea salt, tamari. Beans, black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, pinto beans, red beans, white beans are all great. Nuts, cashews, almonds, pecans, walnuts, grains, quinoa, brown rice, and millet. Now, here's the don't even think about it list. Don't even go there. Don't even touch these things. Get rid of them. This includes sugar and artificial sweeteners, maple syrup, wheat, simple carbohydrates, white flour, vinegar, dairy, processed or preserved foods, coffee, alcohol, soda. Don't even think about it. Give your body a break from tea, black tea. Don't even think about it. No caffeine. Give your body a break. So let's talk about the meal plans. You're going to start your day by drinking 12 to 16 ounces of good quality pure water with freshly squeezed lemon or lime juice. This lemon or lime juice is going to reduce acidity in the body. It's also going to help aid your liver in getting rid of toxins. The liver is one of the main areas where we store a lot of toxins and a lot of fat. So very important. You just kick back first thing in the morning, a big room temperature glass, pure water with freshly squeezed lime. After that, you have some choices for breakfast. This could be a protein shake with plant-based protein powder, with almond milk, coconut water, and berries. You could do spinach and tofu, tempeh with tamari, hot grain cereal with rice milk, oat milk with rice milk, spelt toast with butter. For lunch, options include a salad with avocado and walnuts, grilled veggies, seaweed salad, vegetable soup, not soup out of a can. Remember, nothing that's canned. It's all has to be fresh and full of prana. Spelt pasta with spicy tomatillo sauce, baked sweet potato and salad. A mid-afternoon snack. Look, Travis even gives you a snack on the food program. It's not about starving yourself. It's not about going hungry. It's about just putting stuff into your body that's meant to go into your body. Good fuel to fuel those cells. So a mid-afternoon snack could be a fresh green juice or another protein shake. If you're feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy, have a protein shake with more green powder. Or you can also snack on some nuts. Dinner choices include rice and sauteed veggies, sweet potato and steamed greens, quinoa and salad. God, I'm getting hungry just talking about this. Spelt spaghetti with fresh tomato basil sauce. These are all different foods that you can eat while you're moving through these 7 days. Now, in addition to that, I want you to also think about this idea of self-care, because a lot of us support other people and we're providers for other people and we give to other people, but we don't give back to ourselves. And for these 7 days, I want you to really, really give back to yourself. I really want you to take care of yourself. So each night, you're going to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And you're going to try to go to bed fairly early, like around 9 or 10 p.m. Earlier the better. Right now, I've been going to bed at about 9 o'clock, and it feels great. You're also going to take measures to ensure that you get appropriate rest each day. If you're really tired while doing this, especially if you're not consuming caffeine and you're used to it, take a nap. Give yourself the permission to slow down and take a nap. Try and also minimize stressful situations as much as possible. Tell the people in your life to not stress you out for 7 days. Tell your husband or your wife or your teenagers or your coworkers to leave you alone. Say, look, 7 days, I'm in a bubble. And in this bubble, I don't need your stress. I don't need your BS, man. So stop it, zip it, shut it up. This is about me. Drink plenty of pure water throughout these 7 days. Just pound back water with lime juice. The more lime juice, the more lemon juice that you can get, the better. Now, also in your handout, I've included a special recipe on a healthy liver juice. And I'm not going to go through that in this podcast because it's all on the handout. But again, remember, your liver plays a huge role in the process of detoxification. And you can drink this juice every day. You can drink this every day. Your liver is like the general of the body. And so we want to make sure that we cleanse that as much as possible over these 7 days. And then lastly, just want to share with you some last essential keys to increasing your vitality. And you can even journal about some of this. One thing is to think about, what is your purpose in your life? Why are you here? And are you living your purpose? Are you living a life of purpose and passion? And if not, brainstorm ways where you can get back on track, because life is short and you never know when your time is going to be up. You never know when you are going to expire. So every day is a gift. Every breath, every moment is a gift. Also, gratitude. In your journal while you're moving through these 7 days, you can take 5-10 minutes every day to just write all the things that you are so blessed to have within your life. And they've done studies by giving gratitude, you improve your immunity by about 25%. Also, find your tribe. Find people around you, whether that's family or friends or coworkers or people in your community, that model who you want to be, who you want to become. And try and spend as much time with people that are going to help elevate you, not people that are going to bring you down or try and judge you for doing this 7-day program where you're actually doing something that's good for you. These are the people that we have to either not listen to, or if we're in a position to eliminate these toxin relationships out of our life. Eat that high alkaline diet. Again, most of us are acidic. Exercise regularly. If you're feeling strong, you're feeling full of energy while you're moving through these 7 days, feel free to go for a vigorous jog, a hike, do a power yoga class with Travis Eliot on YouTube or Interdimension TV. But if you're feeling tired and fatigued, which often I do while I'm doing this, then I'll do a yin practice or a restorative practice, or I'll focus more on meditation. Get a little bit of sunlight each day if you can, 15 to 30 minutes. Just get that vitamin D is really good, manage stress, and most importantly, have fun. Have fun. Have fun and live a life of joy. Live a life of vitality. All right, you guys, that is it for this podcast. Again, if you found this useful, take a screenshot, share it on social media, share it with your community. Remember to hit subscribe, leave me a review, a comment. Love to hear from you. And make sure that you download that special 21-page PDF file. All right, let's finish with the ultimate prayer. May we bring strength where there is weakness. May we bring courage where there is fear. May we bring compassion where there is suffering. And may we bring light where there is darkness. May we be ultimate. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you click subscribe and also click the link to get those 3 amazing classes: power yoga, yin yoga, and meditation. See you next time.